Hello everyone, thank you all for stopping by. In case you are joining us for the first time, you are highly welcome. Here is the Spiritual Solution, and I welcome you all. To my old subscribers and my viewers, you are highly welcome. I thank you so very much. Today I have something very important to teach us, and it is all about spiritual advice. I want to give us all a spiritual advice on what to do and what not to do. You know, whenever people embark on spiritual walks, at times there are things that they will do, and at the end of the day, it will not yield a positive result. And the next thing you will hear them say is that man is fake or that woman is fake, whichever one. But most times the problem is not from the spiritualist or the pastor or the reverend that gave that advice. The problem most of the times comes from the people that the spiritual advice was for. So I want to let us know what you can do so that your spiritual works will go for you, and what you are not supposed to do, okay, so that you don't get a negative report after everything. Now, there are some times when you tell people to perform a spiritual walk by, let's say, 12 in the midnight, or 3 o'clock in the morning, or 6 a.m. And then you will hear comments like, can I do it by 7 o'clock in the morning? I'm a very busy person. By 12, 3, 6, I'll be sleeping. I need that rest. There is a reason for that time. There is a reason that the time was given unto you. If that spiritual walk is supposed to go by 12, you have to do it by 12. Any time apart from 12 will make it null and void. If it's 3 o'clock, let it be 3 o'clock. If it's 6 a.m., let it be 6 a.m. I will tell us the reason why for these times. In case you don't know, I want you to know it now. Whenever you are asked to perform a spiritual walk by 12 a.m., that is 12 midnight, the reason why that 12 is given unto you is because every spiritual battle starts by 12. Both negative and positive ones, they all start by 12. So whenever you are given any spiritual walk or prayer to start by 12, please let it start by that time, because when you start it, assuming your enemy, assuming you are fighting with someone or a spirit, by that time that person or that spirit will rise up to fight you also. So when you rise up by that 12 and you pray or you perform a spiritual walk, you will counter whatever the spirit or the person is doing. Now, if you are giving a spiritual walk or prayer which will take place by 3 a.m., the reason why you are giving that 3 a.m. is because 3 a.m. is a holy hour. Yes, as Christians, 3 a.m. is a holy hour. When you perform a spiritual walk by 3 a.m. or you pray by 3 a.m., it is always a positive one. It will go without any hindrance. Now, when you are asked to pray or perform any spiritual walk as from 5 or 6 in the morning, let it be that 5 or 6 in the morning. The reason why is because by that time, every spirit, both negative and positive ones, are returning back to wherever they were coming from. So when you start your prayer or you start your spiritual walk, when you mention the spirits, those spirits that you mentioned, which you needed them to be there while you are praying or while you are performing that spiritual walk, will hear you and will come back. But when you do it any time as from past 6 in the morning, they have all gone back. In as much as they will still hear you, but there is a time for everything. As it is in the world, so it is also in the spiritual world. There is a time for everything. So when you are praying and you mention them by that time, which is not the time that you were asked to pray, there is nothing they can do for you that time. The only thing is that they will have to wait until next time when you call them at that appropriate time. So you don't have to argue whenever you are asked to perform a spiritual walk at a particular time. You don't have to argue. All you need to do is either you accept it or you reject it. There's no two ways about it. You don't go and do it the other way around that will suit you. It doesn't need to suit you. For you to get whatever you want in life, you have to suffer this flesh a little bit. That is how you can get whatever you want in life. Have you ever seen anyone who sleeps from night till morning, night till morning, night till morning, without going to work, without going to business, without cooking, without doing anything? When you wake up, you now see manna, you eat it. Have you ever seen it happen? It happened during the olden days when God rained down manna for the Israelites because they were helpless that time. It will never happen again this time around. So whenever you are asked to do anything at any particular point in time, I will advise you to do that. Suffer this flesh a little bit so that you will enjoy in the end. Now, another thing I want to let us know is people always put words into the mouths of spiritualists or pastors or reverends. You want them to say what you want to hear. It is not done that way. You have a problem. You approach the pastor or a spiritualist or a reverend, and then you tell them what your problem is, and you expect them to tell you that which you want to hear. It doesn't work that way. If that spiritualist or that pastor or reverend is spiritually called by God, he or she will somehow disagree with you along the line. If they want to be true to you, they will tell you the exact truth, and truth sometimes hurts. But most people, whenever you tell them the truth, the next thing they will say is that you are fake, that you are not real, because that is not what they want to hear. What they want to hear is you telling them that everything is beautiful and rosy for them, that they will succeed in life, that they will make it in life, that there will be no hindrances on their way. That is what most people want to hear, but it doesn't work that way. Please, I will advise you all, in case anybody, you have a problem and you approach either of these people for a solution, and then he or she tells you something else, he knows what he's telling you, unless you met those people who are actually fake. Because I know that there are people who are not called. A lot of people just decided to, form it by themselves that they are called, and then they will start giving wrong messages, unless you fell into the hands of those people. But when you approach those people who are truly called by God, they will tell you exactly what God wants them to say. Now, another thing I want to tell us is this. When you meet all these people who perform spiritual work, either the spiritualists or the pastors or the reverends, there is something that people always do which is not right. I want to advise us to stop that. When there are people how do I put it? Okay, let me say people who have the gift of vision. You don't need to tell them what your problem is. When they see you, they will tell you what your problem is, because they've already seen it and they've seen the solution. Now, there are times when people will see that problem, and when they tell you that problem, you pick offense with them. Why are you picking offense with them? They didn't just formulate it. That was the message they received from the Holy Spirit at that point in time. Or sometimes, maybe whenever they are praying, and God will now reveal that message to them. When they call you to tell you what your problem is and the solution, you will not buy that idea, because that is not what you want. Okay, let me use this for instance. Maybe you are married and you are not living well with your spouse. You are having quarrels, ups and downs, and then someone with that gift of vision comes in contact with you and decided to reveal what your problem is to you. What you most times what people want to hear is everything will be solved amicably. God said that he's going to do it for you, that you are going to live in peace. But when that person turns out to tell you that God said that you should leave that home for now, maybe you are going to come back in 2 years' time, but for now, leave that home because your life is in danger. People don't want to hear this at all. The next thing, especially women, the next thing they will tell you is that the person wants to ruin my home. You want me to leave my marriage? Who will take care of my children? Who will take care of my husband? You want another woman to enter into my home. So, if you have already, have such reply already in your mind, why do you seek for spiritual help? When you have already made up your mind on what you want, why do you seek for spiritual help? People who are seeking for spiritual help are people who are ready to perform whatever they are asked to perform, except shedding of blood. And that is what leads me into this advice that I want to give us now. I want to advise us all to be very, very careful with the people we approach for spiritual help. Yes, be very careful. Whenever you come across any spiritualist or any man of God or woman of God, whoever that person is, and then part of the spiritual work that you're going to perform is to shed the human blood, please, I will advise you to run away from that person. You didn't create anybody, and you don't have any right to take away the life of anybody. There is nothing on earth that will make that spiritual work to work for you. Shedding of human blood is sacrilege, is an abomination unto God and even unto man. So when you are asked to perform such, so that you become rich, so that whatever, assuming some people who are possessed, and then they will be asked to shed their human blood so that the evil spirit will leave them. That evil spirit will torment you the more. And the blood of that person that you shed will keep on tormenting you. So whenever you come in contact with people who will tell you something like this, please run away from them. These are the mistakes that people make, sometimes unaware. I want to bring it us to our notice. Whenever such things happen, okay, you know what to do. I want you to watch this video. Pay attentively to whatever I have said so far so that you don't make those mistakes. Stop calling people fake when they are not fake. And then when you meet those fake ones, you won't be able to differentiate between the real ones and the fake ones. And then you fall into their trap. Okay? Now, that boils down to the last but never the least. Whatever you are doing in life, without prayer, you are not going anywhere. Without prayer, you are not going anywhere. If you are given a spiritual work to perform for yourself, for your family, for whatever reason, before you embark on that spiritual work, you need to pray. You need to table that matter before God. Tell God that this is what you want to do. This is what you are asked to do. Okay? So that whenever you perform it, assuming you didn't get it well, God will now arrange everything and make everything to fall into place for you. You cannot do anything in life without prayer. Prayer it doesn't have to do with Christians alone. No matter your religion, okay? No matter your religion, even if you're a traditionalist, I know that before traditionalists start to do something in life, they will call on their deities. Yes, calling on those their deities is part of that prayer. They believe that the deities will help them and it's working for them. So whatever you believe in life, before you embark on any spiritual work, start it with prayer. And when you are done with that thing, end it with prayer. Prayer will help it make it work for you. Okay? This is all I have for us today. It's just on spiritual advice so that you don't make mistakes, you don't fall into trap, and you don't fall into temptation. All right? So I'm going to leave us here. But in case you haven't joined us, please, I would like you to subscribe and join us fully. You will never regret joining this channel. And until next time, I'll have to leave us here. Have a wonderful day and God bless.